Hello people! Welcome to this playlist on Python programming. Until now, we have learned to work with variables, keywords, conditional statements, loops, functions, classes, and objects. Today, we are going to learn about files and how we can handle files in Python. Files can contain text, images, videos, programs, and so much more. But, for the purposes of this tutorial, when we say files, it would strictly mean text files. Does this mean Python can handle only text files? No, most certainly not. Python can handle almost any file type, with the help of its extensive standard library and a vast ecosystem of third-party libraries. However, we are going to stick to text files, just so that the concepts are easy to explain. File handling is much easier in Python when compared to some programming languages. For example, file operations in C language are very verbose. In some languages, the syntax is operating system specific, and there is no built-in error handling mechanism. Python addresses all of these and makes dealing with files a breeze of a task. Files can be opened using the built-in function, open. We can choose the mode to open the file. Reading mode. This is the default mode. This opens the file for reading. Write mode. This mode creates the file if it does not exist, and truncates the file to 0 length if it already exists. Append mode. This mode opens an existing file and adds data to it. It throws an error when the file does not exist. Exclusive creation mode. It creates file for writing and throws an error if it already exists. Binary mode. This is very helpful when dealing with files that do not contain text. For example, audios, images, videos, etc. Text mode. This is the default. Before we jump to the file methods, we need to learn about a best practice for opening the files. Context Manager. This is an approach which prevents resource leakage, closes the files when the operation is done, and automatically handles operational errors. It is considered the best approach. In this video, we will always use Context Manager, denoted by the with keyword, to open the files. There are three main file methods that are available within Python. They are read, write, and close. They have some variants, which we would be discussing in detail. The other rarely used methods are seek, tell, and truncate. Before we talk about the variants of read method, let us look at context management in action. You can see that the keyword, with, is used to open the files. We create a file object in the same line, and call the methods on that file object. Notice that there is no necessity to manually close the file. It is done automatically. It is advised to use this approach when dealing with files. To demonstrate the methods, we would be using a sample file, the contents of which are on the right pane. The read method has copied the contents of the file into a single string. We can see that new line characters are part of the string. The raw representation of the string has been printed, using the reaper function. The readLine method works like an iterator, which reads from the file one line at a time. We would have to use a loop to iterate through the contents of the file. The readLines method has copied the contents of the file to a list. Each element of the list would be a line from the file, as denoted by the new line character. Python has two variants of write method: write and writelines. Write method writes a string into a text file opened for writing. Note that the strings are appended at the end of the contents of the file. They are not inserted as new lines. New line characters have to be inserted manually, as demonstrated here. WriteLines method is used to write a list of strings into a text file. Here too, the new line characters have to be inserted manually. The close method is used to close the file when the file action has been completed. But, with the use of Context Manager, it is no longer necessary. The seek method is used to move the pointer to a specific position in the file. Here we move the pointer forward, from the initial position of 0, by 10 bytes. The tell method returns the current position of the pointer. The truncate method removes the contents of the file after its current position. In this example, we have moved the pointer to the 10th byte, and truncated the contents of the file after that position. You could note that there is a plus sign after the mode. We have opened the file in read mode, and allowed editing, by using the plus sign. Python also supports W+ mode. They both support reading and writing, but there is one difference in the way the file is opened. In R+ mode, an error is thrown when the file does not exist. In W+ mode, the contents of the file are truncated, if the file exists. The open method can open any file. For non-text files, we can use the binary mode. Though the read, write, and other text methods won't work on non-text files, the open function and the close method would always work. This has been the session on file handling in Python. I'll meet you again with another informative video. For more Python tutorials, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell icon. Until next time, happy learning!
Thank you.